Ladies and gents, we are finally back from a 4-week break and One Piece is finally back with its weekly schedule. Eiichiro Oda is back, the man is feeling well, he's feeling good, the break did do him good. And so, therefore, we should get pretty neat and amazing chapters because Eiichiro Oda also has stated his latest and newest message to us, to his fandom, where he stated that yes, guys, it is now the saga for One Piece. Well, technically the Versus for Yonko saga still did not end because Shanks and Blackbeard need to be defeated by Luffy, but whatever. We entered the final saga. The final saga of One Piece is now here and Oda says it, he said it, Oda said it, he will give us everything, he will give us all the lore, all the open questions, everything will be answered and of course, what is One Piece? So we have entered it. And if you still do not believe it that no, the final saga is still 50 years away, stop it, because chapter 1054 dropped. And who appeared in this chapter, which was a whoa effect, it's like no one expected that. Yes, Akagami no Shanks. Shanks is around the waters of Wano Kuni and he's there. So the pacing of Eiichiro Oda, man, these 4 weeks of break did do him well because he got his pacing back. And this chapter, chapter 1054, which is called Flame Emperor and Tay, by the way, the attack Ace used against Blackbeard, you remember that? But the pacing in this chapter was phenomenal. It was like, it felt so fast, it felt like, oh, we are doing many things now. But at the end of the day, it was structured very easy. It was the 3 parts, and the first part, it starts with Ryukugyu, Green Bull. He's approaching the flower capital, but he's stopped by the Akazaya 9. Well, not all of them, but some of them are there, even Shinobu, and they're stopping him. They're like, hey, yo, you cannot enter Wano Kuni, the flower capital, as you want, because the people are there are partying. They deserve this party. It has been 20 years. And Green Bull is listening to them, and then Raizo and Denjiro are talking, hey, yo, you know this guy? He's an enemy of Luffy, he's a marine guy, and he's from the outside world. Ryokugyu Green Bull hears that and he's like, hey, you guys shut the hell up. We from the outside world, we only obey to what the Tenryubito, only what the Celestial Dragons say. We are under the rule. We are a nation, a united nation. But you guys from Wano Kuni, you are outside of it. So you are the outside world, guys. You are strangers to us. You do not obey to the Celestial Dragons. And that's why you can get destroyed and we wouldn't even break one single law. So basically it is like in real life. I love how Eiichiro Oda takes things from the real life and puts it in One Piece, because Green Bull in that scenario is just saying, we need you little poor people so we can sacrifice you guys so we can have wealth for the wealthy and strong lands, for the nations that are built up on you guys, because we need workers like you, we need little poor shits like you so the mighty ones can grow and get taller. So basically the poor nations and the rich nations, and the Celestial Dragon control all of them because they're on top of them. So yeah, a little reality check by Green Bull to the Akazaya 9 there. I liked it. It was like, okay, I see how you think, Green Bull, you're restricted to the rules, you only obey to the rules, you're a big Kaido fangirl it seems, you want to make him proud at the end of the day, but well, whatever. Green Bull is that type of a guy, but then he fights the Akazaya 9 and then he unleashes his powers, and he has the Mori Mori no Mi. He's a forest man, he's basically Hashirama from Naruto. He can control nature, he can create nature. This is pretty epic because it is also in the translation called Logia. So he's basically Logia equals nature, he's basically that. So okay, Green Bull's abilities are hacks. He has a freakish power, no doubt about that. But then in comes Yamato, gives him an advanced Conqueror's Haki club in the face, and he felt that shit. He was like, ouch, what the hell was that? That really hurt, that Haki was strong, but whatever. I am willing to kill everybody, thousands of people of Wano Kuni to get Straw Hat Luffy's head to Akainu, my boss. And I'm fangirling. And I'm like, Green Bull, sit down, son. You do not capture anyone. You are alone, first of all. And then the second thing, over there in the flower capital we got guys like Luffy, Zoro, Law, Kid, Sanji, Jinbei, and Yamato is here fighting and stalling you. And I'm like, you're not taking anybody's head. You will be the one who gets captured and made up a bitch. So just shut up, sit down, relax. you're not doing anything today, so go back to Akainu and clean his ass. Yamato joined the fight, and then Momonosuke came in his dragon form, and he was ready to fight. He was like, yes, you are right, Yamato. Wano Kuni, the people have suffered enough, and he just wanted to ball of breath Green Bullbug. That did not work out pretty well for him. It was like, okay, shit, what is plan B? And then Momo straight up went to Green Bull, attacked him, bit him, and it was like, okay, you're trying that again, you need to get your powers under control. But at the end of the day, Momo is still brave, he still has trust in himself, he wants to take on an admiral of the Marines. I don't know if you're ready for that, Momo, most likely not, but you can try it. Maybe you can achieve your, or activate your King's Haki with this. Maybe you will get in a serious situation. And then we go to the middle part, the second part of this chapter, and this was the, oh my god, what the hell is he doing here? Why are you here? Shanks is there. Akagami no Shanks is there with his boys, and they're just chilling, and they're like, yo boss, Lucky Rose, like, yo boss, let's go meet Luffy, it has been ages. And Yasop, he is shitting himself, he's like, yo, I'm not ready to meet my son, I'm not mentally prepared to meet Usopp. And even Lime Juice is there, the guy with the bandana, the sunglasses, the long yellow hair, the blonde hair, and he's like, hey, wait a second. This little brat kid, he even is there, right? We had a fight with him not too long ago. Yes, he lost an arm, and he's there, and he's very strong, and he's 3 billion of worth. Probably more than all of you guys, besides Shanks. What's great about this is Eiichiro Oda is really showing us, hey guys, the lore will now be answered one after another, and we get that. We get a little bit of that with this chapter, because we get Shanks looking at the newspaper and Luffy's wanted poster, and he's like, yeah, this is, and then ... So Shanks knows that this is Luffy's true awakening, his nika form, his nika awakening. And then we have a flashback of the time where Shanks and his boys went on that marine warship of the world government where the cipher pole was, and then there's this young who's who, and he's like, hey guys, we do not have anything worth here, but there's this little chest, and in there is the gomu no mi, which Luffy ate in chapter 1 back in the day. Shanks knew about the devil fruit, Shanks knew about the gomu no mi being special, or it being the hito no mi model nika. He must have known that. So he took that thing with him, and then he looks at the newspapers and he's like, oh Luffy, so this is it. This is your form you were talking. I was hearing stories of, and now finally it is here. Eiichiro Oda just made one little mistake in the flashback. He's showing us the exact same scene where that sea beast came in and grabbed Shanks' arm and bit it off. Shanks in that panel now is wearing his captain's coat, his black coat. But back in the day he did not have that thing. He only had his white shirt and he was in the waters. A little mistake, a little error by Oda's part, not a big thing. They can edit that out, they can still correct that once the final volume drops. But this was, well, not a big deal. So Shanks and his guys, his crew is talking about Luffy, and in the past 7 days, some information about Luffy's awakening must have dropped around the world, because people are now talking mad stuff about Luffy, that he's being this monkey monster which is undefeatable, uncontrollable, indestructible. And of course, Shanks does the one thing we all knew he would do. He's saying, no, I am not going to Wano Kuni and meet up with Luffy. Luffy needs to come to me, he needs to find me, and he needs to challenge me, because that is what a great pirate does. And even here, he is like, okay guys, what happened at one of our territories? And one of his crewmates is like, yeah, this guy Bartolomeo, he's one of Luffy's subordinates, and he just wrecked our flag in our territory and put Luffy's flag in there. And Shanks is like, okay, I got you. We gotta go and handle this situation, because what would happen to my credibility as a Yonko, right? So basically Shanks is saying, guys, even if I am good friends with Luffy, even if Luffy is my boy and I'm a father figure to him, whatever, he wants my place, he comes to me, he challenges me, he beats me. Then he gets it. Otherwise, no. And then Shanks is sitting next to Ben Beckman and he's like, hey yo, Beck. I love how he's calling him Beck and not Ben or something like this. He puts in a sake cup, he drinks it, and he's like, looks like we need to join the fight for the One Piece. And Ben Beckman is looking at him and Shanks is just sipping his sake, and I loved that part so much because it kinda further confirms one of my theories, because I was one of the, maybe the only guy ever from day one when the verses for Yonko Saga started. I was the only one who ever said, even to my friends back in the day, and even I even made a video about it. I was the only one who always said, guys, at the end of the day, on Left Tail, every big player, every Yonko and ex-Yonko will meet up at Left Tail and battle it out for the One Piece. Otherwise, this thing does not make any sense. Why would guys like Big Mom and Kaido, after they've now lost and out of Wano Kuni, why would they be like, hey, you know what, we lost to Luffy, whatever, we now stop chasing him and we now stop looking for the One Piece, fuck that, we do not want it anymore. So this doesn't make any sense, right? The only logical approach for those guys would be to be in revenge lust and they hate Luffy even more and get motivated to get revenge and get to One Piece before him. So at the end of the day, all of them somehow, someway will meet up at Left Tail. I mean, Luffy, Shanks, Kaido, Big Mom, yes, even Buggy, Law and Kid, because those boys, they also want the One Piece. Law wants to find out what the true story is, what the meaning of D is. All of them and their crews, or their remaining crews in the case of Kaido and maybe even Big Mom, all of them will meet up at the final island and they will duke it out there in a final little war for the One Piece, which then concludes to the final big war of the entire world and the moons and whatever there is. Shanks in this chapter saying like, hey yo, back, it seems like we need to join that fight, for me kinda also confirms that yes, Shanks will also be looking after the One Piece and he will also go to Left Tail, and when he is there, he will, two options then, he will then fight against Luffy, but not as an enemy, as a true enemy villain, only hey Luffy, do you have the power to defeat me type of thing, or he will assist Luffy in the fight against the other coalitions. Because the other guys could team up on Luffy, and I mean Blackbeard, Kaido and Big Mom, like temporary. Okay, we team up and we fight against those guys and we beat them, and then we beat us each other to get the One Piece. But I can see in the heat of the battle when everybody's going at it that Blackbeard does the dirty thing a pirate will do. He sneaks around, he goes in there, he takes the One Piece, because that's his style. He will do most likely that. The end part of this chapter, it continues with the Marines. We go to Marine HQ and we see Kizaru, Akainu and this new Marine guy who's he's the officer-in-chief of the Marine Crime Investigations. Yeah, so they are talking about Sabo and Nefertari Cobra, because King Cobra has died. No, he has been killed. And Sabo was the killer. And I'm like, no, not one single way Sabo did that. He did not do that. He got most likely framed. Maybe one of Cypher Pole 0 was there, or even Cypher Pole 9, and they got contacted by the Gorosei, and the Gorosei got the order from Imu, hey, King Cobra needs to die and one of our guys needs to do it. And you know what? Frame the revolutionaries to it. You know, Dragon's second in command, Sabo, this guy, yeah, he will be the one, frame him for that. And most likely that scenario happened there. And then Vivi got lost. Vivi is gone. So where's Vivi? Cobra's dead and Vivi somehow went missing. So the only possible and logical way I can see it as this, that Vivi and Sabo and the other revolutionaries got out of there, they escaped with her. Or the other possibility would be that Sabo got captured and Vivi escaped because she was warned by the revolutionaries that her life is also in danger. This could be also one case. But the fight against the admirals and the revolutionaries was a huge dub for the revolutionaries. They won that fight because they managed to free Kuma out of that slavery position. And it's like, hey, that's perfect, okay, that's great. So the admirals could not defend the position at the Holy Land at Marijoa, so it's like, what the hell happened there? Can we see that fight, please? King Cobra assassinated, killed, and Princess Vivi missing. Hey, Alabasta is on the verge of a second civil war. Pal, if you see any bombs, get the hell out of there. The entire world, or the people who are rebelling against the world government, who are on the side of the revolutionaries, Sabo, in their point of view, is a hero because he managed to put a big, huge ass step forward into the rebellion for the revolutionaries. And I'm like, guys, yes, maybe so, but this was the wrong king. King Cobra was a good guy. He may be one of the 20 kingdoms 800 years ago that formed the world government, but King Cobra and the Kingdom of Alabasta, they're not like the other guys. So King Cobra getting killed was wrong. Sabo's popularity among all the rebellious countries and the revolutionaries gained such a status that he is now viewed as a god, and he is actually the one behind the scenes who is doing all of the stuff. His status, his popularity even surpasses, or kinda surpasses, the one of Dragon himself, the commander-in-chief of the revolutionary army. So it's like, okay, we see a little kingdom where they have a huge ass picture of Sabo, and then there's a guy with a megaphone, and he's like, yeah, you know what, guys, Sabo did this, he did this for the rebellion, for the revolutionary army, and we are behind him. And his little brother, the pirate monkey D. Luffy, has joined the Yonko. He has beat down 2 Yonkos, and the era is now changing. Everything is changing. And while we see that scenario, we go back to Akainu. He's looking outside of his office to the seas, and he's like, yeah, looks like this is my destiny. This is why I've become Gensei, the Fleet Admiral of the Marines. I will beat and kill every single one of them. I will beat them to their game. They will not do as they please, because as long as I am Fleet Admiral, I will destroy them. Akainu always gets these final panels with his epic speeches, and in the anime they even do him justice every time. The theme Overtaken is always playing when Akainu has these speeches. So this most likely will be the same thing. This is overall the chapter. 1054 hits back strong after 4 weeks of break. We got certain things answered. We have Shanks. We got more Shanks and his boys in this chapter than ever before in the entire series. It's like, yes, finally, the year of Shanks. Movie Red is around the corner, and now Oda says it even himself. We are full course. The final saga One Piece, everything will be answered. It will be hype. It will be great. So be prepared for it. Chapter 1045, what you guys thought about it, leave a like, leave a comment, write down what you thought about this chapter, and I gotta catch you guys next time because things are heating up and they're getting very, very good. Catch you guys next time, bye.